opportunity to enjoy yourself, my dear.
Don't worry, I will. Goodbye, goodbye. I love you all.
Goodbye.
I shall envy your respect.
Well, I shall. Oh. Child, stop those tears. Jane, Mary, then after. Lizzie, I still cannot uncover whether Jane saw anything of Mr. Bigby while in London.
Jane cannot be very happy, Mamma. Perhaps it is best if we avoid the subject.
I have vowed never to speak of it to anyone. I told as much to Lady Lucas the other day. I really do think Mr. Bigby is a very undeserving young man. I suppose there is not now any chance of her getting him. There is no talk of him returning to Netherfield in the summer.
I do not believe that he will ever live in Netherfield again.
Just as he chooses. But I shall always say he used my daughter very ill. And now Jane will die of a broken heart, and then he will feel sorry for what he has done. I don't care. I'm unhappy. Kitty, do not weep in public. It is unattractive.
Miss Bennet,
Mr. Wickham,
can we expect your company in Brighton this summer?
only Lydia. We are rather concerned about her being on her own.
The Colonel's wife is sure to keep a watchful eye on her. And how did you find Hunsford?
Charlotte and Mr. Collins seemed quite content. For 3 weeks, Mr. Darcy and his cousin Colonel Fitzwilliam were at Rosings. Do you know the Colonel?
I remember him a very gentlemanlike man, with manners very different to his cousins.
I found Mr. Darcy to improve on close acquaintance.
An improved Mr. Darcy. Has he acquired a trace of civility in his address? It is far too much to hope that he has improved in his essentials.
No, in essentials he is much as he ever was.
Indeed.
I only mean that, in knowing him better, his disposition is better understood.
I must rejoice that Mr. Darcy is wise enough to even assume the appearance of what is right. I expect that these improvements are merely to further his match with Miss Anne de Bourgh.
Do you think it likely?
Mr. Darcy will only marry his equal or better in fortune and connection. His pride will not allow him to do otherwise. Now, Miss Bennet, you must be anticipating the warm weather. The families who have been in town for winter will soon be back, and summer finery and engagements will be abound.
As it turns out, I shall soon be enjoying a tour of your part of the world.
Derbyshire.
Nature, culture, wilderness, and artifice, all in harmony and all in one perfect country.
Do you remember meeting my aunt and Uncle Gardiner?
Oh, I certainly. I remember her speaking very feelingly of her youth in
Lambton.
a very quaint little village, not 5 miles from Pemberley.
My aunt is keen to revisit the town and surrounding sites.
Some of my happiest years were spent there.
I've agreed to accompany them.
And perhaps you'll even be able to catch a glimpse of Pemberley while you are in the neighborhood.
I must join my family. Safe journeys, Mr. Wickham.
As to you, Miss Bennet, I hope it is not too long before we meet again.
Lizzie off to Derbyshire, and Lydia gone these 3 weeks. Bless me, brother, if I soon shan't have the comfort of any of my daughters at Longbourn. Is that not a sorry thought, Mr. Bennet?
A dilemma, my dear.
Oh.
One that is sure to be conquered by your customary fortitude. Write to me, Lizzie. I will miss your good sense so much so, I can almost promise to answer your letters.
Thank you, Father. Our road took us to Oxford, Blenheim, Warwick, and Derbyshire, where we shall be treated with the sight of the Matlock River Valley.
I'm eager for Lambton.
Oh, now, the little town of Lambton.
He's surprised that Lambton takes its place among so many wonders.
And we shall spend every bit of time there as we desire, my dear, but let's be off. We have the daylight, and that's best for travelers.
I will write to you, Jane, and you must promise to write to me. You will keep your promises, I know.
Of course I shall.
You can post your letters at the little inn in the little town of Lambton.
The little inn in the little town of Lambton.
Oh, give me your stuff,